Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for Alien Earth Episode 3.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
So, Alien Earth Episode 3, it's up, it's out, it's available on Disney Plus. No, I'm not sponsored by Disney Plus, and you'll have to forgive me, I seem to be losing my voice again, which is great. And again, just to be aware, there are spoilers, only mild ones, but spoilers nonetheless, for this episode and its review. So, the episode starts with Wendy running through the wreckage of the ship, the Maginot, as she looks to find her brother Hermit. What a name. This leads to a standoff with the Xenomorph itself, which culminates in some off-the-screen Xenomorph beheading, which, it's a bit of a shame we didn't see that. But I guess budget, maybe? I mean, the show has clearly put its budget in a lot of the environments and some of the action. It's just a shame we saw this off screen. What a shame indeed. At the same time that that's going on, Kirsch, who is played by the continuingly great Timothy Oliphant, is examining some of the seized specimens alongside some of the Lost Boys. Nibs, one of the Lost Boys, laments the use of Peter Pan names, as well as clearly suffering from a bout of PTSD from nearly having her eye infested with an alien eye. God, that was horrifying. And the young entrepreneur Boy Cavalier declares that the mission is no longer a rescue mission, but a procurement mission to maintain the located specimens for his own devices. So we can see where that's going. Oh God, it's all going to go wrong. They're all going to die, aren't they? In addition to this, we see the cyborg Mr. Morrow himself plant the seeds of an existential crisis in two of the Lost Boys by asking them when is a machine not a machine, as well as devising a plan to retrieve the specimens that Prodigy has now taken from Yutani. There is a hell of a lot going on in this episode, hell of a lot going on, and we finally get to leave the Maginot. We leave the crash site, we leave it all behind, and this is where the episode in the series points towards the fact that the action is not entirely what we're here for. It's the existential crisis. The action's great, no doubt. The action has been great. It's layered with tension. It's a little bit cartoonish at times, but that's fine. But it's nowhere near really the most important, the most fascinating aspect of the show, unlike the questions and the individual crises raised by the Lost Boys in this episode. Their childness, their childish behaviour, their childlike intrigue is set against some truly traumatic moments. And it's hard not to forget that they were, up until very recently, terminally ill children. They've just been plonked in these adult synthetic bodies and then basically thrust off to go and do this mission. And we get a little bit more within that as to, there was a lot of people lamenting in reviews that I saw that, well, why would Boy Cavalier send these multi-million dollar synthetics to do this mission? And somebody says that in this episode. One of the characters laments, why are we spending 10 years on this project to go and send them, to this rescue mission? And it's, to Boy Cavalier, it's why not? He has this infinite amount of resources to him. It matters nothing to him. He's playing everything against itself. Probably playing against himself as well, challenging himself and to see how much he can do with these infinite resources that he's got. It's interesting in that regard. Curly, one of the Lost Boys, questions, why Wendy is the favourite of Cavalier in this episode, and that sets up a sort of like a jealousy-led conflict. Nibs, this one who nearly had her eye infested by that alien eye tadpole creature thing, I don't know, tentacle creature thing rather. She's not having a good time either. I mean, who can blame her? She was nearly eviscerated, and it seems like she's having these memories of her past really impacting and really influencing her decisions in this. She seems like she's completely separated from the entirety of the rest of the Lost Boys at this point. And I suppose it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to her, whether she does something that compromises everything or whether she makes a mistake. And then there's this other one called Toodles, who is totally overeager. He's determined to do everything and be helpful. And again, that's going to lead to some sort of mistake going forward, isn't it? You can see the painting that's being crafted with all of these different characters. I mean, the episode is titled Metamorphosis for this reason. The characters are growing painfully at pace and being shaped by their own experiences without any time whatsoever to process what's happened to them. They've been thrust into this. You know, they're tools to be used, and they've been thrust into this role, and they're having to deal with it. There's no debrief, there's nobody to sit with them, there's no trauma specialist, there's no nothing. They're literally tools. They are seen as tools to be used. And this episode goes forward in presenting a bit of new lore to the franchise as well. We see a very small stage, a different stage in the Xenomorph life cycle, which is this tadpole. So Kirsch, Timothy Oliphant, does a bit of an experiment on one of the facehuggers, and he withdraws the tadpole from the facehugger, which is obviously the bit in between, like that gestational step between the facehugger and the chest burster, and he uses that, he pulls that out, and it's it's a harmless looking thing. It looks very cute, and you know, according to the grapevine, and again spoilers for this, it's not really bothered about lungs, whether they're in an actual person or whether they're floating in a jar on artificial life support. It's a little bit harrowing to see that this creature is able to adapt to whatever circumstances are presented to it. And we've known that for many years with the Xenomorphs across all the films, comic books, and video games, whatever. We've seen the creature at every single stage is able to adapt and overcome whatever challenges are presented to it. And the seeds have been set, really, haven't they, for the inevitable carnage to come in this series. And as I said, Timothy Oliphant as Kirsch is absolutely fantastic. He's fascinating, he's compelling to watch, and he's a bit more authoritative in this episode, not just with the Lost Boys, but with Cavalier as well, who, you know, he immediately identifies and he notes that the alien eggs react to the presence of biological life forms. And that's always been something that we've known. It's been a gradual exploration of what makes the eggs actually open, whether it's the fog, whether it's the blue laser, whether it's just being in close proximity, whether it's something else. But there's a danger that the show is going to reveal too much. And with the eggs, the more scary when they're left in obscurity, when they open of their own accord without anybody realizing or noticing, or whether when it happens super quick or super fast. You know, this show should do well to maintain some of the mystery around the Xenomorphs, and there is a danger, like I said, that this show might lighten and lower the terror and the horror that they showcase if more biological understanding is made of them. That's the only thing I've got worried going forward, is that we're going to do a Prometheus thing and reveal too much or explore too much or understand too much. Hopefully that's not the case, and that before we get to any sort of parts in that they all get fucking eviscerated. Who knows, we'll have to see. In addition, the show is positing a ton of exposition in certain sections, none more so than when Mr. Morrow is uploading data from the ship to himself, giving him ample time to delve into numerous aspects of the story. It seems like the show is desperate to give us exposition dumps at every opportunity where it can do, but again, it's going to be a fine balance between exposition dumps and maintaining some of that elusive history, that elusive nightmare fuel that is the Xenomorphs and their abilities, and you know, just the way they go about living. You know, that's the mystery. Aliens did it well in maintaining that allure and that mystery, even when we were revealed, you know, the presence of the Queen. It was the existential dread of what that meant. It was something else. It was the sheer size and scope of it and going, what the fuck is this? But it was that alongside it, that horror alongside it, of not knowing what else there was out there. The show needs to maintain that. And there is that danger that the show will reveal its hand and, you know, lose that at the expense of playing with horror. It will be riddled with something else entirely. I think that's for me, that's the reason why Prometheus failed, is that it was unable to, just maintain the horror and try to just fill the gaps so fucking much. We didn't need it. We didn't need it, and we don't need it now. We don't need gaps being filled. We just need quality horror going forward. However, there is that fine balance, like I said. But there you go. That's my review for Alien Earth Episode 3. It posits a lot of things going forward. It puts all these characters in certain situations, certain places where they're going to go next. We don't know. Both Wendy and Hermit are in, some dire situations coming at the end of this episode, and this episode doesn't really focus on them too much from the opening aspect of the episode. It moves on to focus on these side peripheral characters who are all going to have some sort of impact going forward, and we'll have to wait and see what exactly they do have on the story going forward. But it's interesting. It's not nearly as action packed as previous episodes. It's not really all that scary, in terms of what we saw in the previous episodes, but we know what's coming, don't we? I mean, just as a basic level, we know what's coming, and it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens going forward. So yeah, I don't know how many episodes are left. I've lost count already. Is there like 5 or 4 or something like that? We'll have to see. So yeah, that's my review for Alien Earth Episode 3. If you enjoyed this review, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.